It's the Raw Meat Podcast, the most mediocre wrestling podcast on the internet. With the smart Greg Adams, the nature boy Jay Whatley, and the hardcore icon Puff.
No one look at me.
Our picks are already done. They're already made, except for one on mine and like two on yours.
Yeah.
All right. It's the Raw Meat Podcast. Wow. Greg Adams, Jay Whatley, and Puff. This is our Money in the Bank pay-per-view preview show and our prediction show, which is a big deal. We've had a handful of these, and I am on a 2-in-a-row streak of being the champion. I have my belt here.
Up your nose with a rubber hose.
Yeah, I demand a recount.
Well, you can recount all you want. I got the last pay-per-view perfect. 100%.
I got close thanks to AJ Styles in the first one.
Yeah, that weird thing where he had 2 victories. We counted those 2 victories as technical wins. So, but before we get into these predictions, I do want to say a big thank you to everybody who listened this week, because a really big week for the podcast. Over 5,000 listens, over 5,000 views.
Oh, I thought we had over 5,000 hours of content this week.
No, it felt like it, though. We had hours of content.
Yeah, I know, it did.
Yeah, I know. You were on. We had hours of content, and what were you on, like 15 minutes?
Yeah, about 15.
Yeah, so.
Those are the most viewed and highest rated 15 minutes, so.
Actually, I think the most viewed 15 minutes were 15 minutes that you weren't a part of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
I think it was just me.
All right.
But yeah, so thank you.
I'm sure you had everything to do with that and not Trish Stratus.
Yeah, I think she had everything to do with that. I just happened to be the facilitator. Anyways, thank you to everyone who listened. We're going to not fluff this a whole bunch. Everybody listening knows what the Money in the Bank pay-per-view is. They know how important it is, and they have heard probably ad nauseum that this is the biggest Money in the Bank pay-per-view of all time. Does everyone agree with that? You guys?
I think if you look at the history of Money in the Bank, like I said, I kind of didn't like it as a standalone pay-per-view. But if you look at the history of Money in the Bank, like previous ones with matches, and especially this one taking it to a whole nother level, this probably bumps Survivor Series out of being. This is like.
Well, I do think that
this is a big 4 pay-per-view now.
Yes, it sounds like they are going to go with the multiple pay-per-views every month with the brand extension, and I think this is going to end up being one of the big 4 that they come together on. I think you're going to see SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and Money in the Bank as your big 4 that are going to be combined brand pay-per-views.
We'll see what happens.
All right.
We also got that information from Lawler, so who knows?
Yeah, that's news that broke this morning as we're recording this. I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time. I would rather wait until next week when we recap the pay-per-view, because there are going to be more developments. I mean, there have already been a handful of developments this morning.
You know what I hope? I hate it for Lawler, but I hope in his absence they replace him with Lita on the pre-show.
Yes, I love that.
And I hope they put Corey Graves in his chair on SmackDown.
I am down with both of those. I don't know about the SmackDown one, because with SmackDown going live and Corey Graves being so entrenched in NXT, I don't know that it works out.
Yeah, but NXT works literally, a week? And then they're off for a while?
Yeah, but
he's got plenty of free time.
All right. Let's get to the predictions. We're going to start with the pre-show. We all have our sheets in front of us. I have the master score sheet in front of me that we will keep track.
There's one match that I just cannot pick, man. I can't do it.
I've got one that I have not been able to pick, and it's going to come down to the wire, too.
Man.
Puff's got one I think that he hasn't been able to figure out yet.
I got two.
Two.
I got 2.
It's one match that I literally cannot.
I think we all have the same match we can't figure out, and then I have one additional just for
No, I think you guys have the same one you can't figure out, and mine, you may have the same as both of us, but I think just predicting this, you two can't figure out the tag team match, and I can't figure out Money in the Bank. Does that sound about right?
Well, I done had Money in the Bank figured out for months.
All right, are you struggling with the tag match?
Yes.
You're struggling with the tag match. All right, all right, so let's do the pre-show ones. These are easy. These are simple shoe-in ones. Pre-show: Apollo Crews, Sheamus. Crews over there. Sheamus. I've got Crews as well, so let me write that down.
Oh yeah, there's one win for Daddy J, baby.
All right, do you want to?
Don't ever refer to yourself as Daddy J again.
That's what my phone calls me.
Why do you think Sheamus is going to be Crews?
I don't know. That's one of those things
gut?
Gut, but I don't know. I have both the heels winning in the pre-show. I don't know why.
Here's the one way that I think Sheamus wins this is if this is just the beginning of a long-term program. If this is going to be Sheamus versus Apollo
I think
Crews
if
for 2 months.
this was a show on Money in the Bank, if they fit that into the actual show, then I think I might go with Apollo Crews. I don't think they'd put him over in the pre-show.
But if they do a brand split, there's no guarantee that either of them are going to be on the same show.
Which is exactly why
I get a feeling a lot of rivalries are going to be. This
Golly,
is the end,
you
folks.
guys are going to make it easy for me, aren't you?
All right, let's go. Ziggler, Corbin. You already said you got the heel, so you got Corbin in this one.
Yep.
I also have Baron Corbin. Puff 3 for 3.
BC.
All right, we got Corbin on all of these.
Well, great. Now that's the one I'm worried about. If you two jabronis are picking him too.
All right, how do we want to determine who picks first in the Money in the Bank? Because
How about we skip that, go to the U.S. Championship, and circle back around to that when
makes
we
that
get to
easy. All right, U.S. champion. I've got Rusev retaining.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
We
Wow,
all got
really?
Rusev.
No doubt.
I really, really thought that somebody was taking Titus. Puff,
I was this close, but there was a couple of things that's holding me back from picking Titus. I think Baron Corbin will be our next U.S. champion after they get through all this.
Yeah, that whole thing just feels like a play setting, matchup.
It feels like an apology match. It feels like an apology storyline to Titus O'Neil, who, by the way, side note, if they do sign Moose,
he's gone.
Titus O'Neil is done. I don't want to say that though, because Titus O'Neil is there. He does so much outreach work.
Well, he'll be relegated to superstars once again.
Yeah.
And you will, but Moose will go through NXT first, so he's got a little bit of time. But I'd be counting the days of my contract, Titus.
This one actually was a tough one for me. I changed my pick after I started this one. Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Natty and Becky Lynch. I changed my pick after I first made it. I thought this was a slam dunk. I went through one time, and then as I reread my picks, I was like, whoa, wait a second.
Whoa.
Hold up.
Well, let me just say that I pick against Charlotte every single pay-per-view. And one day I'll be correct. And when that day comes, it'll be great.
All right, so
I'm thinking that that's going to be at Money in the Bank.
Are you picking against Charlotte?
Yes.
All right, let me make sure I got that down. Puff.
I got Natty and Becky as well, and I think we're going to get an assist from the Nature Boy, the real Nature Boy.
Woo! Oh, I thought you meant me.
Ric Flair.
Give me a ticket.
You flying out to Las Vegas?
Sure.
I changed my pick. I originally picked Charlotte and Dana Brooke.
Oh.
But I changed it to Natty and Becky Lynch.
What made you change, Greg?
The only reason in my mind that you make this a tag team where the belt is not on the line is to make Charlotte lose at a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You have to have that moment of... You have to start creating some doubt in Charlotte right now, because she's had the belt for 250 days. She's nearing a year with the title. So at this point, she's won in all sorts of ways. She's won clean. She's won dirty. She's won with Ric Flair's help. She's won without Ric Flair's help. She's won with Dana Brooke's help.
DQs, countouts.
If there was a pay-per-view that she would lose at, this is it.
Well, I think she's going to lose at SummerSlam too, but we can talk about that on Monday.
All right, do you guys want to... I know we've been having trouble with the tag team championship. Do you want to skip that one as well and come back?
Let's do it.
You want to come
there.
to this one?
Yeah.
I have my pick in play, so I can start. I have the New Day retaining the championship belts. I just, at this point, with so much uncertainty in the tag team division, as far as... Will the tag teams be split? Are you going to have some of these teams get divided up inside the brand split? Are all tag teams going to be to one side? Are we just going to have tag teams on SmackDown? I mean, with so many questions, I don't think it makes sense to start a whole new... Because I do hate that we have a minimum of 300 days on a title run. That seems to be the minimum. You have to hold the belt forever. And if you're going to take the belts off from New Day and put them on somebody else and expect that to stay for 200 days, you don't have that luxury right now.
We're moving into a new era, my friend. Those days are over with.
No, yet prove it to me. Prove to me that those belts are okay, all right. Well, I'm going to write down New Day.
Who you got, Puffy?
I haven't figured that out yet. Go first.
So for kind of almost the same reasons, I did not pick New Day though, even though it was between them and someone else. I don't think that they would give the belt
They're not even in the match.
to Enzo and Cass, because all of this talk about them splitting up is already happening, and that started before the brand split was announced.
Yeah.
I don't think the Vaudevillains are going to win because they suck. I can't imagine they belt him up this quick. That's all I'm saying. That's my only. And I almost went with. And the club, I do think is going to win. I think the club will do it.
Jay with the club.
I think it's either going to be
talk about mind blowing.
That's a swerve.
I just think I think also out of all of those teams, with the exception of the New Day, I don't think they'll split up the club. Obviously,
no.
So I think you have two teams that are without a doubt not getting split up under any circumstance.
I think you have three teams that are not getting split up.
You don't think Enzo and Cass are going to get split up?
No, I think Enzo and Cass are. I don't think New Day, Vaudevillains, or the club are getting split up. No, I think out of all of those, the only one that has a chance to get split up is Enzo and Cass.
See, I disagree. And that's where because at first I had New Day winning. But then I remember that, Kofi's got a new baby. He's been wanting to take more time off and get away for a while. You can't do that being strapped up. As much as I love Xavier,
sure you can.
He can't.
Ask the Miz.
That's the Miz.
Well, fair enough.
You got three people in the New Day. I mean, he can get off for a couple.
I know, but Xavier doesn't bring the same tools that Kofi does to the ring that complements Big E.
It's the shoes.
Yeah, it's totally the shoes.
Seinfeld joints.
But so that was my hesitation. But on the other hand, New Day is literally this close to becoming the longest reigning tag team champions ever. They already got like the total number of days record, and they're this close to like the longest title run. So that's where I'm so torn on this match. But I am going to go with Enzo and Cass.
Wow.
Whoa.
It's a new
era.
You
think they'll belt up Mr. Concussion himself?
Hey, he's not Sasha Banks, which is the only reason she's not winning a championship right now.
Wow. Wow.
Enzo and Cass would have been my pick had that event not happened.
I'm in shock with both of you right now.
I don't think they've made them look strong enough to win it all.
I think right now you two have actually flip-flopped on picks. I totally expected you to go Good Brothers, and I totally expected you to go Enzo and Cass.
I didn't even. Enzo and Cass was the one team that I never thought about.
Wow.
I was even on the Vaudevillains for about 10 minutes.
Well, I thought about my first instinct was to pick New Day.
It's a safe pick that lousy champions make.
And then I was torn between New Day and Enzo and Cass. And I just think with all the Cass just going crazy and wrecking all those teams, even when he didn't get put over in the end, I just don't see them not strapping them up. They're selling more merch than anyone else right now.
Without the belt.
Here's what I am really, really happy about.
That takes it to a whole new level when you put them on TV.
I am really happy that we got through Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, the U.S. Championship, and the Divas Tag Team match, and we all had the same picks. And I had this fear that it was going to be the Apollo Crews Sheamus match that decided this whole thing.
Hey, you know what? It doesn't mean it won't. We still have other options that neither of us picked.
I know, but I am just saying that I am happy that we got to this tag team. It's going to come down to the first
match of the pre-show.
That's what I was afraid of. But we got to the tag team, and we all three went different directions.
Sheamus is winning that match.
Hey, but still, Vaudevillains could end up winning this thing. We're all screwed.
Totally.
We're all screwed there.
And that's not even the Money in the Bank match where we got 6 options.
I know.
I would be more surprised if Enzo and Cass won as opposed to the Vaudevillains. I think if it gets off a New Day, it's going to a heel team. I don't think they'll keep it in-house, in face house.
Well, I just think New Day's going to take a little bit of time.
Roadhouse.
Well, I think
there you go.
I think New Day's retaining. I don't think that's
what a lousy, just safe pick.
Whatever. All right. One of the 2 matches that are being touted as WrestleMania headline caliber matches: AJ Styles, John Cena. I don't like the tagline "a match 15 years in the making" because I don't think really this is 15. This is not. That's not what this is. But this is timeout. This is exactly what this is.
It's Sting versus Triple H.
This is no. This is the final nail in that TNA WWE
Don't
coffin.
You dare put AJ Styles in the same sentence as Sting. Don't you?
Well, AJ Styles is still walking.
Ah!
Wow.
Sting's walking, just slowly, gingerly.
With a limp. But I think this is the whole, we got this guy from the other company, and my fear is that they're going to do to him exactly what they did to Sting. Well, that's my fear. This
is why I think this is the final nail in the TNA WWE coffin, because John Cena has been cutting some excellent promos, and he's been saying things that we never thought we would hear on WWE TV. He's been dropping PWG, New Japan Pro Wrestling. But if you listen carefully, even when it sounds like he's off script, what's the one thing that he has never, ever said?
Never.
TNA. Those letters cannot come out of his mouth.
He said NXT. It's pretty much the same thing.
Shut up. It's the Edge and Christian show bit. Can WWE talk about this? New Japan Pro Wrestling? Yes. How about that other company? Beep. Oh, I guess that's a no.
But that to me is the biggest slap in the face to TNA, is that they'll mention PWG, New Japan Pro Wrestling. He'll say Bullet Club.
Yeah.
He'll drop the bullet phrase innuendo twice.
But then they'll have a guy like Sting show up and say that he's just not been doing anything at all for 14 years. He has literally done nothing at all.
All right. But
so we're all picking the same guy, I'm guessing.
I don't think so. To the actual match, you've already insinuated you're taking Cena. Is that correct, Puff?
No, I'm taking AJ.
You're taking AJ.
I just have that fear that they're gonna do the Sting thing.
There is no way in hell that John Cena comes back and loses to a guy that has made his entire reputation in TNA. No way in hell. No way.
That's my fear.
Ain't happening. There's just no way. There's no way that they take their guy and he loses his first match back to a guy from TNA.
You have AJ.
Just no, and I love AJ Styles.
You have Cena.
Yes.
I have AJ.
Wow. I cannot believe y'all making this so easy for me.
Well, John Cena.
Just hand me the damn belt.
The only reason I didn't pick Cena here is Cena's been known to put guys over where Triple H doesn't.
It ain't happening though.
It
ain't happening. This is not just a guy. This is Mr. TNA. This is Mr. Total Nonstop Action.
Also, the same guy that on his media tour before officially signing with WWE was doing a better job of burying TNA than the WWE.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying to the average viewer, they don't watch Japan
the average
wrestling.
viewer.
They don't watch Ring of Honor. They don't watch that. The average viewer does not watch that. The average viewer that is buying the merchandise and that is putting butts in seats, he is a TNA guy. To me, he's a TNA guy. He was TNA.
Here's how I see this going.
Hell no.
This is the Kevin Owens program.
If AJ wins, it's because there's something much bigger happening.
Well, this is what's much bigger. Both of them are going to SmackDown. Your number 1 draft pick for SmackDown is John Cena. Your number 4 draft pick for SmackDown, or your number 2 overall pick in the draft, because number 1 will be Raw. It'll be Roman Reigns.
You
number
two
2,
are still assuming there's a draft.
Yeah, I know. But even everyone's saying draft, so let me do my draft thing right now. Number 1, Roman Reigns to Raw. Number 2, John Cena to SmackDown. Number 3, Seth Rollins to Raw. Number 4, AJ Styles to SmackDown. That structures your overall hierarchy. Now, this is the Kevin Owens version of what happens with John Cena. Kevin Owens comes in, John Cena puts him over in one match.
Was it a pay-per-view?
No, it was on Raw. Or was it a pay-per-view?
I think it might have been a pay-per-view.
It may have been a pay-per-view. He wins once. You get 1 win. And then for the next 3 or 4 in a row, you get just wiped off the face of the earth by Super Cena. That's how I see this rolling. Right through into SummerSlam, we'll probably see a Cena and insert 2 guys here versus Club.
Okay, what if AJ Styles wins? Or I'm sorry, what if? Never mind, that was dumb. Because I think there's something serious about this no Bullet Club ringside bit. Well, I think that's going to end up getting broken.
A certain someone named Finn Balor is not technically a member of the Bullet Club.
Finn Balor is not showing up in the main roster for at least another year.
No, it's like
ain't happening. You guys both thought he was showing up in New Orleans for the Go Home show.
No, I thought it was Bray Wyatt was showing up.
Yeah, I really felt Bray Wyatt was too. Which, by the way, Bray Wyatt's got to show up at some point in this pay-per-view.
Well, that's where we're going to get to the next.
Okay, well, all right. Yeah, I kind of have a feeling that we're maybe on the same wavelength here. But do you guys want to circle back to the Money in the Bank ladder match, or do you want to do the heavyweight championship match first?
Let's do Money in the Bank.
Damn it.
Get it out the way.
We have to do Money in the Bank first.
All right. Now, hey, your predictions cannot include a Money in the Bank cash-in, or
Why?
do you guys?
No, I don't think that it could. I think it can't. Well, because if you have a cash-in and you have a different
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think we can say it, but it shouldn't hold credence in. If
well,
that's the case.
no, but do you want to? We could add a third option. I mean, we could have a third option on the championship, and we could just simply
Can this be
say,
like a high school?
Yeah, I like that.
Can this be like a high school quiz where you get like a bonus point if you nail it?
Yeah, bonus point.
But it doesn't count against you.
well, I mean, it'll count against you in the sense that you would get it wrong.
Well, see, the thing is that I know I won't be wrong, so it doesn't matter to me what kind of stipulation you put on this.
But what I'm saying is, and we're all agreeing, and this is recorded, that if one of us predicts that there's a cash-in champion, that counts. Like, otherwise, if I pick Roman Reigns and there's a cash-in, I'm still losing. But if I pick Roman Reigns and there is
you're changing the last one to whoever leaves the arena as the champion.
That's what we're predicting is who leaves as champion. It's Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, or the Field. That's
even though if there is a cash-in, technically that would make it 2 separate matches.
Yeah, it only counts as a singular match if they pull the Seth Rollins and he cashes in the middle of a match. You can wait till after. Or before.
Okay, I like the option of just
that's what we'll call it. We'll just say who leaves as champion.
Done.
And your options will be 3 options. It'll be Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, or cash-in champion. You don't even have to name them.
I don't.
Well,
even
I mean,
have
you would
to
technically
change anything on my paper because I've been right about this.
All right, if you are so confident, why don't you start? Who's winning Money in the Bank?
Here we go. Even though Monday Night Raw attempted to sway me, I know that I've been on this scent. I'm like a hound dog. I know without a doubt that your boy, Dean Ambrose, is winning Money in the Bank regardless of a Bray Wyatt last-minute show-up. Dean Ambrose is the winner.
Bray Wyatt's not interfering here.
I'm just telling you who's the winner.
Okay, so wait.
Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose. I just want to make sure that I have that 100% before I write it down. Mm-hmm. Do you want to do this? Because I literally just made my pick 5 seconds ago.
Yeah. See, the trouble with me for this one is there's the guy I hope wins, the guy I think there's going to win, and the guy everybody else wants to win. So I think everybody else...
Who's the guy that you want to win?
The guy I want to win, of course, is Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that everyone else wants to win?
Dean Ambrose.
Who's the guy you think will win? And this is your prediction.
God, if you actually pick the same person as me, I'm going to be floored.
He won't.
I'm going to go Kevin Owens.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
KO.
Just because I think the entertainment value of him having the briefcase is higher than anyone else in that match grabbing it.
No.
I'm changing my pick again. My pick again.
No chance. Dean Ambrose holding Money in the Bank with a Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins feud going on.
I mean,
that's huge.
That's close.
What draw does Kevin Owens have, man?
He's Kevin Owens.
He's Kevin Owens.
Not the Shield big, man.
No, he's not.
He's not the Shield fighting each other big. That's big.
That is big if they continue that storyline. We don't know where they're going with the brand split. They could be on 2 separate shows, which would negate anything. So I'm sticking with a guy that doesn't have ties to either program at the moment and is entertaining and is probably one of the best up-and-coming young stars in the company.
I made my pick and changed my pick within the last 60 seconds.
Uh-oh.
Originally, the name that I circled was Cesaro.
Good choice on changing that one.
Rationale here.
God, I hope Cesaro wins now just because.
I know.
I wouldn't be upset by that.
Here's why I rationalize Cesaro right now. He has the Daniel Bryan aspect. The crowd feels like they are the ones pushing him forward right now. The Cesaro section prior to injury and the Cesaro section still being around, he has the crowd behind him.
But you could say the same thing about Sami Zayn.
Not yet, because Sami Zayn is still, and that was a promo that was cut on Raw where Cesaro says, "I've been here for 5 years. You've been here for 4 months. Chill, bro." And I think that was not specifically actually to Sami Zayn. I think that promo was written to us. I think that promo was to the crowd, to the audience, saying, he's only been here for 4 months. Chill.
This isn't a Bob Dylan song. I don't think they're getting that deep.
I think they are, though. I think they're trying to find a way to explain away some of the changes and some of the things that they have happen. Now, Cesaro has the whole new gimmick. Could you imagine how good it would look to have this guy who's rocking a suit walking the briefcase all the time? He had the weird earpiece. He's got the shades. He's got the... It all kind of fits. It would look good. Give him a sleek briefcase. Go back to the black style. It would look awesome. Now, I changed my pick in the last few minutes because of something you said. You said who we think wins, who we want to win, and who they want to win. And I think there's one person who actually has the most, that is highest in all three of those categories.
I think you're about to pick my second choice.
And it's a guy who they have made a big deal out of something in particular about this match for the last month. And he's a guy who, if he cashes in, because to me, this briefcase has to either be cashed in Sunday night or immediately Monday, or it has to be cashed in before the brand split, because we're probably going to see 2 championship belts. And if this briefcase goes to either of, if it goes to SmackDown and the big gold belt is there, does this work for the big gold belt? Now we have to explain that. Kind of weird. Let's cash this thing in right away before this gets overboard. I think Chris Jericho is the guy that could win that and cash that in right away.
Oh my God.
And make it look good. Now here's the deal. It's kind of it's a gimme putt. It's we need to get the belt out of the way. We need to do it quick. We need to make it entertaining. And let's get the guy who invented the match a win finally in the match. Now, he probably does it in a sleazy Damian Sandow way, where he spends a bunch of time outside the ring, makes it look like Zayn and Owens are going to win it at the top, and they're both going back and forth. And he comes in with the ladder and hits the side of the ladder with the ladder, knocks them both down, opens the ladder, grabs the briefcase. I think maybe Zayn.
That was my second choice.
Maybe Zayn's all the way at the top, and he's about to get it, and here comes Jericho to just punch him off, and he takes it.
But
build up your underdog, and then rip it right out from underneath.
But here's the reason I think Kevin Owens gets it, is you got to put that Sami Zayn feud on ice for a while, temporarily. And what's a great way to distract Kevin Owens from Sami Zayn? Have him the money on the briefcase, focused on the title. You can put Sami up against The Miz. Whenever Kevin Owens goes to cash in and fails, then they can get back together for SummerSlam or whatever, the fight over the IC belt.
So none of us have the same winner?
Nope.
I could have sworn you guys were going to pick Alberto Del Rio.
I was going to say we're all screwed because Del Rio is going to be the one. Because if you look at
that
somebody,
was my third choice.
And the rationale behind Del Rio would be if you have a person in this match who needs the briefcase to define their character right now, it's Alberto Del Rio. Because he doesn't have League of Nations anymore. He's kind of, I mean, he's in better physical shape than he was at any point in his WWE career. He has a bunch of things going for him, but no clearly defined role. I mean, even when you're bringing guys out for commentary and ring announcer on a match, he ends up being the timekeeper and just rings the bell. Like
and make fun of people, which was one of my favorite parts of the night.
But he doesn't have a clearly defined role right now. And if you needed to define somebody with the briefcase, that would be him. Everyone else can leave this match without the briefcase and not lose any stock. They're all on the same level. They all have something going for them, except for Del Rio.
Well, when I told you I thought Del Rio was going to win his qualifying match, you're like, there's no way.
No.
And he got in.
Yeah.
I was this, like I said, it was a toss-up for me between KO, Jericho, and Del Rio. But I just got to go with, they keep on pushing the new era. It's got to be a new era guy that gets it.
To recap that, Puff with Kevin Owens, I'm taking Chris Jericho, and Jay is taking Dean Ambrose.
Yes.
Now, as we get to the World Heavyweight Championship match, we added that cash-in stipulation. You can take, this is who leaves the arena with the belt. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, or the Field. Is there anyone taking the Field? Bueller? So we're all going to take either Rollins or Reigns.
I think so.
Sounds like it. All right. You want me to go first?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Roman Reigns leaves champion.
Jay?
I think Roman Reigns wins. I think Dean Ambrose cashes in. I think Roman Reigns wins again. The double win.
Ooh. That place.
Now look, the pick is Roman Reigns wins, right?
Right.
If that other stuff doesn't happen and Roman Reigns still wins, I win, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but for the record, when exactly what I just said happens, I do want credit for that.
Okay. And I am taking Seth Rollins with an assist from the Wyatt family. Anyone but you, Roman.
I feel that.
That actually makes a lot of sense, Puff.
I'm really feeling that.
And if you remember, Shane's like, we're going back to the old no disqualifications, no countouts, and title matches.
Oh, that's right.
Wyatt family, baby. And then I do think if Owens doesn't win Money in the Bank, whoever wins will try to cash in, and then the Wyatt family will destroy them too, whoever that happens to be. Or it's the false cash in where someone runs out, the Wyatts are still hanging around.
Puff, you held on to that idea pretty nicely, man.
I told you I wasn't.
It's not
going to
happen, but I mean, it's a good thought.
I'm sort of feeling that.
The Wyatts are going to show up at some point.
Yeah. You know who else is probably going to show up? There are actually two other guys that will probably make appearances.
Sting?
No. I don't know where they make an appearance. I don't know how they come in. I don't know exactly what's going on with them, but not only do I feel like we see the Wyatts show up, but I feel like we see Randy Orton somewhere.
Yeah, it's about time for him to come back.
You need a seventh guy.
Maybe.
Too late now.
Too late?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's crazier things that have happened over the last couple of months.
True.
I mean, John Cena said Bullet Club in the ring, and AJ Styles said ass in the ring. So, I mean, there have been crazier things that have happened.
I'm more surprised by the ass from AJ than the Bullet Club from John, but...
And the other guy that nobody is talking about at this point, that has been completely forgotten, is Neville.
Is he walking?
Yeah,
Neville's.
But from what
Didn't he break his leg?
Ankle,
but in today's medical, you don't have to wait for the bones to heal. They just throw some plates in there, and then you basically just have to wait for the skin to heal. It's not like he tore ligaments.
Yeah.
Or maybe he did. I don't know, but I've seen that he's about ready to come back.
I thought they were going to hold on to him until July, but
he's the kind of guy who could show up and pull Seth Rollins at the end of Extreme Rules. Drop, he'd hit somebody with a knee to the face, and he's back.
I think we see one of y'all's ideas, Wyatt, Orton, Neville, but I think the lesser will be shown on the pay-per-view, and the bigger one will be done on Monday night. That is how they have done it lately.
Except for like a Wyatt family interruption.
Yeah, that would make sense, but
because you can't do that at Raw without having an.
I think you can do it at Raw. I think you can. I think
but
Roman
it won't have the same impact.
There's not going to be a championship match.
That's
at
the
Raw.
case with everything that they do on Monday night. It never has the same impact, but there are more viewers Monday night than there are in the pay-per-view.
There are, which is why you probably and
I think it would actually make sense because then you get the Wyatts interrupting and cutting a promo against Reigns on a Monday night, and then you can actually get legs on it.
Oh, well, you would still have them cutting a promo, but imagine Raw kicking off with, we have a new champion, or a new old champion, the guy who never lost the belt. Seth Rollins now has the belt, but you won't believe how it happened.
And then Seth comes down for a promo, and the Wyatts interrupt him.
Yeah, because then it could immediately go from, it's anybody but you, Roman, but we don't want you either. And I want more than...
I think he convinced you that this is happening.
It was in the back of my mind the whole time.
I think you see the Wyatts Monday night. I would love to make that pick too.
I think you see them at not Extreme Rules, Money in the Bank. But honestly, I don't know if they interrupt that match or if they interrupt the Money in the Bank.
Well, every time they bring back the anybody but you, Roman, someone gets injured or something crazy happens and they never take it to whatever that next step's going to be. Now that they're coming back, Bray's fully healed, the red beard, bald bastard, Eric Rowan's back. Harper isn't completely cleared to perform in the ring, but he's healthy enough to act in movies and walk.
He could stand outside the ring.
So he can come out and be a little intimidating and physical. All the pieces are back for the first time in a while. You got Strowman.
What do the rules say if somebody just comes into the ring during that ladder match and just takes the briefcase? Like what are the rules if the lights go out
in the match
and Bray Wyatt lights come up and Bray Wyatt's just in the ring and the Wyatt family is holding everybody back as Bray climbs a ladder and just takes the briefcase? Like, what is the rule?
I don't think there is a rule.
Because there aren't rules to this match.
Well, I think they have to be an actual member of the match to win the briefcase.
Who says he's got to win? He might just take it.
What says that is the fact.
That's the
well,
thing.
what
Like,
says
what
that
if
is
he
that
just takes it?
The reason what says that is that they had qualifying matches. It's not like they just said.
Yeah, but you're talking about a guy whose whole gimmick is to play outside the machine.
I agree, but if he wasn't in the match, then him holding the briefcase would not give him any validity to actually cashing it in.
Who's like what? Stephanie's gonna call him on that. Shane's gonna call him on
give
that.
him the
the
belt.
fun if
They
they
won't
do,
be
and he just goes destroying everybody.
Because basically,
You
what
guys
it is
are going crazy. You
No,
guys
no,
are
hey,
thinking
hey.
way too deep into this.
Well, that's what we do. That's why we have a podcast. We're already that far along, so why not just embrace it?
You guys are wrong.
But I'm just asking questions, okay? I'm just saying, like, what happens if somebody takes that briefcase?
It doesn't matter. I don't think so. I think it would make more sense if they just selected 6 random people to wrestle, and it wasn't a qualifying match. Like, you have to win this match to get into the match. You have to be in the match to actually win it and to use it.
All right, let's
But
do
if someone else has possession,
It doesn't matter though.
because the
who can
contract
use it?
because
Possession doesn't
technically
do anything to it.
Technically, the contract on the inside is just a blank contract for a
You
championship
guys
match.
are just
Nobody's
you guys
name's
are just
on it.
being ridiculous now.
All right, let's run through a quick recap of the predictions. Pre-show, Apollo Crews and Sheamus. Puff and I both choose Apollo Crews. Jay has Sheamus. That's our first disagreement. We
go.
all agree that Baron Corbin beats Dolph Ziggler. We all agree that Rusev retains the U.S. belt against Titus. We all agree that Natalya and Becky Lynch beat Charlotte and Dana Brooke. When it comes to the AJ Styles, John Cena, Puff and I both have AJ. Jay takes Cena. In the Money in the Bank ladder match, we all disagree. Puff has Kevin Owens, I take Chris Jericho, and Jay takes Dean Ambrose. And then as far as the World Heavyweight Championship match, tag team matches. Forgot about this one. This was fun. Puff takes Enzo and Cass. I've got New Day retaining, and Jay takes the club. And then the World Heavyweight Championship match. Puff goes with Rollins. Jay and I agree Roman Reigns. And Jay predicts a cash-in double Roman
Unsuccessful.
victory.
Yes.
Do you have a cash-in on Money in the Bank? No cash in on Money in the Bank.
I just think it's the Wyatt family coming to wreak havoc.
I think the cash-in takes place on Monday night. But what if the Wyatt family... Damn, I hate when I do this. Here's how it plays out. And I want credit on this if it works. Roman wins. Roman beats Rollins. Wyatt family shows up. Destroys Roman Reigns in the ring. Winner of Money in the Bank, no matter who it is, comes down at Bray Wyatt's command, or as the Wyatt family has them laid out, the music hits for the Money in the Bank winner. They come down, and the Wyatt family holds everything back and waits for that person to pin them. 1, 2, 3. New champion. Anybody but you, Roman. Anybody but you.
I like that.
I like it too.
I mean, that's.
But that's the reason I didn't pick Roman Reigns. I don't know how it's going to happen, but the Wyatt family is not going to let that bastard keep the belt.
We could have Alberto Del Rio leave Money in the Bank as the new WWE Heavyweight Champion.
God, I hope so.
It's terrible.
Anybody but you, Roman. Anybody but you.
All right, we have our Money in the Bank predictions, and there are a lot of them, but the ones that count are the ones on the paper. I hold my championship belt and am looking to retain yet again, keep my streak going.
Ain't happening. Not with those picks.
I would love to do another 100% this week, but there's so many moving parts.
You win 100%?
Last pay-per-view.
No, you did not.
Last pay-per-view, I won 100%.
Puff.
He did, unfortunately.
You guessed every single match?
I guessed every single match, including the pre-show matches.
That's why we were both out of statistical chance of winning by the 5th match or something.
Yeah,
4th match.
I had won it midway through.
Well, you ain't going to do it again, buddy.
Well, we'll find out.
We'll put that belt in my office now.
We will recap it on Monday. You can find us on Facebook. By the way, cool thing about Facebook now, you can find us by hitting @ WWE Podcast. We actually own that real estate now.
Wait,
They
what?
added @ symbols to the names on your Facebook pages, and we got on it so fast that we actually own the real estate of @ WWE Podcast. So much like Twitter, only one person can get the handle. We were able to get that handle on our Facebook page. So you can find us @ WWE Podcast on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter, Raw Meat Podcast, and of course, we're all over YouTube.
Vince will be waiting for a check. You can have the handle.
All right, that is the Raw Meat Podcast.